Hello friend. Well, you are seeing right now the hosting web platform, and let me log in into the application. And as you see here, it is I have logged into my portal of the hosting web domain. Well, recently I have purchased a virtual private server from Hostinger, and the reason why I did this is that I want to test my Node.js or Django application, which are the backend programming language, into the live web platform. And for that reason you need to have VPS, or even if you want to go for a Java Spring Boot, you need VPS, because you need a terminal through which you will be installing these packages or these frameworks. And once you have got VPS, now they will provide you the IP address. With the help of the IP address, you will be and with the help of SSH, you will be going for login. And because of security reason, I cannot show you the option right now. And once you logged in, you will be able to install different backend framework. And even I want to work with the React.js as well. So currently I'm working on Node.js and Django together, and with the help of them I will be creating the API, and these API will be consumed by the front-end framework like or library like React. Now for all these things you need the VPS, and at the end of the day you don't want to you don't want to expose your IP address to the end user, and for that reason you need a domain, and the domain which I have taken by the name called swarupapp.n. This domain I will be connecting with the VPS, and that's what is this video all about, because I have successfully able to connect it, and I've been trying it for the last few days, and finally to some extent I got some success. Now in order to connect this domain with the VPS, what you need is something called a web server, and there are basically two types of web server available. One is Apache web server or Nginx, and the one which I'm working right now is Nginx, and it is really an awesome web application. But you have to know the coding of this, you have to understand how the code works, how the configuration has to be taken place. Okay, and I was going through different web platform. I finally came across this particular blog, and it helped me a lot. And this blog, thank you to the author of this particular blog. As you can see right over here, this is where the Nginx will be there, and this Nginx will be connected with the different endpoint, different API endpoint, which you have to go for configuration, and that is the reason why it is called reverse proxy. As you scroll down over here, it will show you that these different web servers, they are connected with the same database, and the user can give a request and he will be getting the data from all the different points. This can be like the API endpoint, this can be for like a front end part, this can be like an admin part, and this where different endpoints would be there. Okay, and here when you work on Nginx, you have to install Nginx, and after you do that, well, this is basically based on the Linux command, and because your backend is all about Linux, and this kind of configuration you have to set, which in fact I have done it already, and there were actually I was stuck for a few days, because you need to understand what these things are all about, and these are some directives, and these directives has got some key value pairs and how they are working actually. Okay, and this is where the reverse proxy actually comes in, because over here this location, these things actually are deal with the reverse proxy. Now once you are doing the initial configuration, and if you have set your Nginx successfully, you would be getting this particular welcome message. But if you that happen at the initial stage, but your target would be to configure your actually web application, and I would be showing you that. Well, that's what I was been trying to do it for the last few days, and finally just few minutes ago I was able to connect to my web platform. And as I said, this is my domain name. So as I hit the enter, here you see a simple HTML page that is in front of you. You might be thinking that what a big deal. Well, this is not actually the big deal is that this is a secure connection, HTTP secure, SSL, and this is where the challenge would come when you're configuring your domain with the VPS in context to SSL, and there where you have to give some you have to spend some time for doing this. Okay, because you need to know about the process by which the Nginx has to be configured so that you have the SSL certification. And once you successfully do this, you will be able to see something very important. You come to the inspect option, you go to the network tab over here, and let me reload the page once again. And as I do that, as I scroll up over here, you would be seeing my domain name. If you click over here, and as you can, let's come up to the different headers you will come across, and over here see there's a host is there, and in the host you will be seen, you will be able to see the name of the domain. So that is where it shows that this is actually secure connection, because you have got HTTPS. Initially, when they will provide you, when you will be getting the VPS from Hostinger or any other domain platform, you will be working on the IP address, and at that point of time it will just be on HTTP. That means you will be working on the port 80, but your target would be to configure it to HTTPS. And once you do that, then port 443 will come in picture, and that is where HTTPS will work, and then only you will be able to see this host name. Otherwise you would be seeing over the IP address. If it is not a secure connection, it will just expose the IP address. And my application, and I wanted to work on the secured. That's the reason it took a good amount of time to configure this. Well, in my upcoming days, I will working, as I said, I will working on the backend part. That is what the main point is, because I have to go for reverse proxy, and the reverse proxy says that how do you connect your front end with the back end, and for that reason we have to work on this location attributes, and this is what I have to learn a bit more. Then only I will be able to set up the reverse proxy perfectly, so that my like the backend can be Node.js, it can be Django, it can be anything, but the front end can be like a React, and the front end will be able to work on any backend, provided you have configured the reverse proxy properly, and you have to create the API as well. And that is what my main challenge is, and that is what I actually want to implement right over here in this particular web platform. And for that reason I have invested some money over here, because I wanted to go for a live project. Okay, so that's all from this video presentation, and in my next upcoming days I will be working on this, and I will keep you guys update as I go on. Okay, bye bye, take care.